Yo, what is up? We are back in Kraftwerk, and as I have predicted, the defense teams on Kraftwerk have been winning a lot. Now, I've played about 10 games on this map, and 7 of them have been won by the defense teams. On the other hand, on the old map, the Normandy map, I've played 4 games, and all 4 games went to the attacking teams. Now, before we kick off this video on how to defend successfully, please remember to subscribe to this channel if you're here for the first time, and also turn on your notifications. It helps out a lot. Also, please turn on your turn on the like if you like this video, and it helps out the channel a lot, and it helps boost my channel a little bit. But anyway, we are here in objective C, which I did mention earlier that it was very easy to cap if you parked yourself up against the wall, but there are some conditions to that, as I figured out here. Because you have side shots from this distance, it's really difficult for you to get into that safe position up against that wall, which I did in my first Kraftwerk video. But if you are defending or attacking, you need to make sure you cover this bridge, because the guys that own this bridge are going to control whether this objective is going to be captured or going to be defended correctly. Now, you notice this Progetto is out here on his own, so what am I going to do? I'm just going to rush him and prompt my team to help me out as well. And it turned out it worked out exactly as I planned it. As soon as I rush forward, there's some teammates helping me. Of course, I wouldn't have gone forward if it weren't for that defender that pushed forward as well. So here I am. See if I can track this guy, and I don't. Maybe I'll try and track him again. Always, when you get these kind of opportunities where your enemies are trying to back out or run away, always try to track them out, because when you hit the tracks, you keep them in place, and you will earn some residual damage, or you will earn spotting damage, or assisted damage is what they call it. It can be spotting or it can be tracking, but it's called it falls into the category of assisted damage, and assisted damage piles on if you do it often. You know, every little bit of assisted damage counts, whether you are doing the spotting or you are doing the immobilizing the enemy tank. Always want to be doing that, because the assisted damage, it racks up the experience points, and it helps you rank up to general even quicker. Now, I was going to go in there and try and shoot them all, but that kind of Baron Action X already flanked around the back, so if I drove in, I would have died pretty quickly, so I didn't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is actually get into the buildings here and see if I can get some damage. Now, as you can see, I have 1 tank in reserve, so I'm willing to take a little bit of a risk. If I lose this tank, I still have another tank in reserve. But if you want a full send, if you want to send it 100%, make sure you have 2 tanks in your reserves before you go full send. So don't send it 100%. You know, try to be reserved, try to be calculated in your methods. Try to keep your HP high up there. Even though you want to be hyper aggressive, you still want to, you know, have a little bit of insurance. You don't want just 1 tank in reserve. If you can have 2 tanks in reserve, have 2 tanks in reserve. Why? Because this helps you out a lot later in the game. When you have more tanks in reserve, it helps you out a lot. Now, I took an ammo rack there, lost all my HP, and I turned on my Inspire here as I was leaving, which was a mistake. I should have gone and repaired my tank, come back, and then use that Inspire. But you know, during the fog of war, you're thinking too much, your tunnel vision. So I don't blame myself because of that. You know, I don't try to beat myself too hard when I'm playing this game. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. That's okay. It happens when you're tunnel vision during the fog of war. You know, you are busy trying to manage so many things, so you don't you don't beat yourself up too much when you're doing all these things. But in any case, like I was saying to you, this when I'm recording the replays, I can't the toggling of the map and the toggling of the team sheet does not show up when you are recording the replays, and you know, it doesn't, your in-game toggling of the maps and your team sheets does not show up. So I am actually toggling the map and the team sheets in reserve here. I mean, not in reserve, I mean during the recording itself, just to give you a little bit of what actually happens. You know, I want to try and show you what actually happens when you're actually playing the game. You are toggling the team sheet and the map a lot, so you're hitting the tab and you're hitting the M key while you're playing the game, because you want to know what kind of tanks you are facing on your enemy team, what kind of tanks you have on your team, what you know, if you have heavy tanks you can rely on for armor to support you. So with the information that I have, I figured out that, you know what, I can actually be a little bit more aggressive here again. As you can see, I have 2 tanks in reserve. My HP is almost full. I am taking up my old position again, but as luck would have it, I got myself not ammo right this time, but caught myself on fire, which means I am a 1-shot or a 2-shot and I'm gone. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna leave. You know, I'm just out of here. Go back and get myself repaired again. As you can, if you look at the timer on the repair station, it would be cooled down just as I get there, so I make my way there and get myself repaired. So I'm off to a slow start. I was trying to be hyper aggressive early in the game, like I gave you in my first video of Kraftwerk and the 10 tips that I use. I try to stick to that principle. One of the early tips I gave you was try to be aggressive early in the game, which is exactly what I did. I've accomplished that. I've been aggressive. I've managed to rank myself up, but only up to sergeant. You know, I could have done a little bit better if I didn't get ammo rank the first time, or if I didn't catch fire the second time after I repaired it. And now after 2 times of repairing my tank, I feel like I really need to catch up. I do have 2 tanks in reserve, which means I can be super aggressive if I wanted to. Just go ahead and full send. If I lose this tank, I lose this tank. It's not a big deal. And hallelujah, I have a bit of a team. I have some teammates here going to help me out. I'm going to 1-shot this guy, finish him off, and then I'm going to shoot this Mauer breaker in the back of the head. I have a little bit of help there. Yep, my teammates helping me out. Now looks like we've cleared out this side of the map. Everyone's dead. Or maybe there's 1 or 2 tanks left. Maybe I can shoot this guy. I'll try to shoot this guy if I can. It looks like he is well within he's in his side of the map. As you can see, I can't cross that. If I cross that, I get artillery strike because of the in-game system. He's in the safe zone. You know, I could spend all day here trying to snipe him, but there's no point in that. I might as well leave. As you can see, I toggled the map there to see there's no one left on this map except 1 artillery. So what is there left to do? Well, like I said, you have 2 tanks in reserve and you're almost full HP. Well, you are full HP in your first tank. You might as well full send. So send it. We are going to drive across the map, look for enemies. The map is large. If you are in a slow, cumbersome, heavy tank, you are going to waste a lot of time in traveling mode. You're going to be driving around open maps a lot, which is why one of the tips that I gave you in the 10 tips was, you know, play with a lot of medium tanks or light tanks, anything that gives you kind of like mobility to flex around the map. Even in my T44-100 here, I don't feel like I'm in a very fast tank at all. There's, you know, the map is so big, it doesn't feel like I'm going fast. I bump into this wall, I can't see it. That's one of the downsides of having a snow map or winter map, is the white out problem that you get when everything is blown out. It's difficult to see where the horizon is or where the contrasts are. I couldn't see that bridge there and I drove straight into it. Luckily it was minimal delay, so I press on and push into the enemy. I'm being super aggressive here. Why? Look at my rank. I'm only sergeant. I need 2 more shots to rank up to lieutenant, and I have 2 tanks in reserve. I can throw this tank away. If I can get like 5-6 shots out of this tank, I would be happy to hop into another tank, no problem. So what I'm gonna do is just full send. Like I said, I'm playing hyper aggressive right now. I am fully aware that I have 2 tanks in reserve, so I might as well just look for trouble, get myself into trouble, shoot anyone that I can shoot, land another shot on this guy. If I can avoid his shot, I'll try to avoid this shot so that I can maintain my HP and full send this tank. Now, during all this adrenaline rush and fog of war or tunnel vision, whatever you want to call it, I actually have the Inspirer perk already ready in my tank, but because I am so tunnel vision and so focused on pushing forward, I actually forgot to turn it on. If I turn it on here right now, I would have benefited so much more from the residual damage, from the assisted damage. Because I'm going to be inspiring all my teammates around me, I would have been earning all this free XP from them. This guy would be shooting the enemy and I would be earning something out of it. I wouldn't have been wasting it. But well, you live and you learn. Like I said, you can't be perfect all the time. You can't be making all the right plays all the time. Even though this turned out to be a super good game for me, I still made 1 or 2 mistakes, and the first mistake is here where I didn't turn on the Inspirer. I could have earned so much more residual damage. What do you call that? Oh my god, I get myself on fire here, it's so bad, but that's okay. Like I said, I was ready for that. I was trying to get into safety there behind that building, but too bad. That's what happens when you full send. Like I said, we have 2 tanks in reserve, so no big deal. Let's check out the team sheets, check out the map. Where shall we go? It looks like the same strategy as Normandy map. One flank collapses and all the light tanks and all the wheel tanks are going to try and break through and get behind your objectives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and try to destroy those turrets. So what am I going to do? I'm trying to figure out how I can slow that down. I'm going to go into my LT432. I've decided to play mostly on this map. I'm having a lot of success just playing my T44-100, the LT432 and the Progetto 46. Occasionally I do bust out the EBR-75, which is another option, and that tank is pretty good as well because it's fast, it's wheeled, it's meta. It is the kind of tank that you will be very successful in if you like the kind of playstyle like I do. I like to be aggressive, flex around the map, and try to use camouflage, vision, and speed to fight the enemies, as opposed to using armor. Like this 50 TP here, he's using his armor to push forward. He can't see me, he's blind as a bat, but he's got armor to help him out, and I can't. A tank like me can't pen him. Probably a T44 with gold can easily pen him, but I can't pen him with my standard shells. As you know, I am fully caught up in this game mode, so I don't really need to rank up in a hurry. I'm already like level 20 or 25 or something like that, so I don't need to like rush the ranks, which means I don't really need to shoot any kind of premium shells, although I do occasionally shoot premium shells, especially if I need to shoot 50 TPs from the front. But I try to shoot standard shells for the most part, and this is because I'm trying to earn credits out of this game mode while ranking up. I did my homework early in the season. During episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I played my heart out and kept myself up to date in terms of the prestigious. So I'm saving, earning that rewards right now. I'm reaping those rewards right now. I do not need to fire gold. I just need to be a consistent. If I can rank captain and major just by firing standard shells, I'm Gucci. I'm gonna make it to prestige 10, no problem. Plus, I have these boosters that double my XP. If I make it to general, I am going to get 2400 XP. Now, why am I playing aggressive? Like I said in my 10 tips video earlier on, when you play this game mode, you have to play with the assumption that this you have to play with the assumption that the game or the games will end under 20 minutes. You have to assume that it's going to be a quick game, it's going to end in 20 minutes. So if you need to rank, if you need to do your whatever you need to do it under 20 minutes. Here I am fighting the EBR. I'm going to ram him and switch into my HE shells, and I do a lot of damage with him on HE shells. Of course, HE shells are great for shooting these EBRs and Lynx 6x6s. You're gonna have an enormous advantage over them. Now here you go, I'm toggling the map again. Check the team sheet. We've eliminated every one of them except for one artillery. Now what I want to do is drive across to repair my tank first, of course, but I want to get across to Echo objective, where the enemies most probably where they died here in Delta. Once they die and respawn, they would probably go on to the next objective so that they can get the capture points themselves, and it's looking to be objective Echo. So what I wanted to do is drive along the Delta, go down south, and then see if I could get across. It looks like there are some containers here blocking my way, so I was thinking, you know, maybe I should just drive down south and then drive across and get into Echo that way. But I didn't realize that this entire thing is blocked off. So from Delta to Echo, there is no way through except right at the north part of Delta and right on the south part of Delta. There is no way through. It is terrible. Look at these containers here. I can't get through from here. I was so upset that I couldn't get through from here. I wanted to get into the action and, you know, try to rank up as quickly as possible. But I spot the last artillery on this side of the map, so I'm gonna see if I can shoot him and finish him off. Like I said, this is I made a couple of mistakes, and the second mistake is here. There was a tunnel right underneath me that I could drive to get across, but I was so tunnel vision and I was so bummed and so hooked on trying to cross this corridor that was blocked by these containers. I completely overlooked that tunnel. If I had looked in the map or toggled the map during this time, I would have seen that tunnel, but I completely missed that. So what do? So you make a mistake, that's okay, just move on. I didn't realize it at the time. I think I made it all the way up north before I realized that there was a tunnel there. But there you go, the two mistakes that I made. The first one, I forgot to turn on the Inspire, and the second mistake there, that I missed this tunnel. Those two mistakes could have actually helped me rank up a lot quicker. Now I'm captain right now. It's possible that if I did not make those two mistakes, I could have been ranked up to major by now. It's possible and not entirely impossible, right? So that's one of the good things about looking at your replays. When you look at your replays, you have the time to process what's going on while you are playing. So I think this is one of the things I would like to advise the viewers as well back home. You know, if you're watching my videos, you know, watch your replays once in a while. You can learn you can learn a few things, not just like your mistakes or whatever, but learn about, you know, think about what you could have done slightly better that would have improved your results even slightly. Even if you learn one thing out of your replay, it is a success. Now I've already picked out two things from my replay that I could have improved, I could have done better, that would have ranked me up quicker. Now I like this part of the play. I was being aggressive, I avoided taking damage, and I rushed these two guys. I'm really proud of myself for this play here. This is a unicorn play. It's like IQ 200. I was very proud of myself there that moment. But here we go. I've got free shots on this guy. He's out in the open. I'm gonna completely take advantage of that. My gun is damaged. I don't have a repair because my repair is in cooldown. Just as well, I just need to aim a little bit longer to make the shots count. But I hit the, well, it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you bounce, sometimes you hit the wall. That's okay. Keep pushing on. Once again, if you look at my reserves, I have 2 reserve tanks and I have friends helping me. What am I gonna do? I have a lot of HP. Just keep pushing forward. Go ahead, let's go 1v1 this guy. In fact, 2v1 because I have a teammate helping me out. Let's go. Let's get aggressive with these guys. I didn't know that there were a lot of undulations, and as you can see, there's a lot of terrain here that can help me to hull down, right? So I didn't realize this before doing this, but now that I've done this, now I know that there is some terrain here that can help me out. Look at me. I can hull down versus this guy. He can't do shit versus me. So I'm gonna take him out for free. Whoops, that's an Emil trying to shoot me. That's a 1951 in fact. So I'm just gonna try and run away if I can, but I've exposed myself too much. It was a T-44-100 that got me hiding in this bush. What a camper. Like I said, if you are in a bush and you are in a bush too long, you are not going to rank up even though you are in a good tank. So remember, do not stay idle. That guy, yes, he caught me out, he destroyed me, he killed me, but by virtue of being in that bush, it signals to me that it meant that, you know, he probably stayed there the whole game and didn't earn a lot of XP towards the end of the game. I wouldn't know, I didn't check, but that's what I think anyway. When I see any guys that are, you know, in the bush, I'm just assuming that they didn't do a lot. Now you saw me in the garage there, taking more time than I needed to spawn into another tank. In fact, I could have gone in a lot sooner, but I was spending my time looking at the map. I need to figure out where is the best position that I can get the most damage out of this game. Now remember, always play this game mode with the assumption that you only have 20 minutes. Now I thought the game was over there. The game would have been over and I would have finished only in major, but so happened that when the clock counted down, the enemy was actually in the objective echo. There was somebody in the cat when the clock count down, which means the game automatically gave them 1 minute and 30 seconds of bonus time just to see if they can cap it out. If they got themselves killed inside the cap right now, the game would have been over. And I need like 1, 2 or 3 more shots, so I'm just YOLOing in, rushing in, see if I can get some shots before this game is over. I wasn't sure that the enemy was going to cap it out, but they do cap it out in the end, which means I am caught out in this position where I can't drive away, I can't run away because they are too close to me. They're going to catch me anyway. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to YOLO in and see if I can get a couple of damage shots before I die. And just as well, I got a couple of 1 or 2 shots and got myself promoted into general. So I am happy. I'm a happy bunny right now. I made it to general, so it doesn't matter to me if this game ended right now. Just as well, I think I am the only general or the first general. There might have been more generals because the enemy managed to cap it out right in the last minute. Objective Echo has been caught out. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention to you, the enemy earlier on broken through one of those lines, and as you notice, objective 4 and 5 already destroyed. That was destroyed very early in the game. In fact, the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the game, objective 4 and 5 was already destroyed. I paid no attention to it. I let my teammates deal with it. If the enemy teams completely destroyed all the objectives, well, that's too bad. I'm not going to drive all the way back to objective 4 and 5 to defend it. They were already destroyed by the time I noticed it, so there was no point. But you can see the enemy team, they destroyed objective 4 and 5. They only had 1 objective to complete this game and they couldn't finish it off. They had so much time to do it, just break through and try and destroy objective either one of those 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 or 3, and they would have taken out this game. But it's so difficult. Why? Because the defensive teams, once the defense teams are onto your strategy, they know that you are coming for objective 1, 2 or 3. They can just set up, they can just spawn in objective 1, 2 or 3. There is a lot of safe positions behind the 1, 2 and 3 naval guns, the objective 1, 2 and 3. There's a lot of places for them to hull down, hide. There's a lot of terrain and undulations, and they can safely destroy you if you try to destroy the objective 1, 2 and 3. Now, everything from here on, and ever since I got general, everything is gravy now. I'm already Gucci. Right now I'm just playing for general of the army. You know, there is no more pressure on me. I'm already general. I am guaranteed with my boosters 2400 XP, which, you know, is gonna make me jump you know, 2 levels or 3 levels or whatever, because 2400 frontline experience with the boosters, right? It's just going to be great for me. Right now I'm general, that's all that matters. Everything else is gravy. I'll do as much damage as I can so that I can get the big dick badge, which is the general of the army badge. If I can shoot anything, I'll shoot anything. If I can kill anything, I'll kill anything. I've racked up quite a number of kills. If I'm not mistaken, I got 9 kills. Maybe 13,000 damage or something like that. I'm not too sure. Once again, I really don't look at the scores. I don't look at the damage. I don't look at the kills. I only look at ranking up when I'm playing this mode, which is what you should be doing too if you are thinking about trying to prestige up, trying to level up. All you need to do is look at the clock, look at your rank, look at your reserve tanks. How many tanks do you have in reserve? How aggressive can you play with the amount of reserve tanks that you have? Once again, like I said, I played 10 games in Kraftwerk. 7 of them the defense team wins. I expect the attacking teams to win a lot more starting from Wednesday, which is today, and by the end of the week, defense teams are going to lose. The attacking teams are probably going to overwhelm the defense teams. But while you are still in the Kraftwerk defense, make your most out of it. Try to rank up as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.